Why is Israel building on land that millions say doesn't belong to them? And why do Palestinians live under military occupation 75 years after the conflict began? To understand what's happening now, you need to understand how it started. For centuries, the land that we know as Israel and Palestine was part of the Ottoman Empire. That changed in World War I. And in 1917, Britain issued the Balfour Declaration, promising a national homeland to the Jewish people in Palestine. But at the same time, Britain had also offered independence to the Arab people if they fought against the Ottoman Empire in World War I, which they did. Behind the scenes, Britain and France had already secretly carved up the Arab world. It was called the Sykes-Picot Agreement, and it split the Arab world into zones of influence: British Palestine, French Syria, Lebanon, and puppet states like Iraq and Transjordan. These new borders weren't drawn with culture or religion or language in mind. Straight lines do not belong on maps. But that is what the colonial powers gave the Middle East, and it is why it still burns today. In Palestine, Britain took over under the League of Nations mandate. It was meant to prepare the region for independence. Instead, it became a British colony in all but name. In the 1930s and 40s, as anti-Semitism surged across Europe, under fascist rule, countless atrocities were committed against the Jewish populations. These Jewish refugees fled to Palestine in growing numbers. Tensions exploded between the growing Jewish population and the Arab majority. The Arabs revolted, Britain cracked down hard, and violence became common. In 1947, the UN had proposed a partition plan to divide Palestine into a Jewish and Arab state. The Jewish leadership accepted it, the Arab leadership rejected it, seeing it as another in a long line of colonial impositions. In 1948, Britain withdrew. Israel declared independence, and Arab armies invaded. Israel won and counterattacked, seizing even more land than the UN had proposed. Over 700,000 Palestinians were expelled from their homes. This is what Palestinians call Nakba, the catastrophe. Then came the 6 Days War in 1967. Israel captured the West Bank, the Gaza Strip, East Jerusalem, and the Golan Heights. And this is where the occupation began. Today, Israel still controls the majority of those lands. And since then, Israel has built hundreds of settlements on the West Bank. Most of the world sees them as illegal. Israel says it's their ancestral home. Palestinians see it as colonialization. There have been peace talks, uprisings, bombings, rocket attacks, ceasefires, and collapse after collapse. The two-state solution has been talked about for decades, but on the ground, the land for Palestinian state is shrinking by the year. This conflict isn't ancient, it's colonial. It's about borders drawn up by outsiders, promises made and broken, and two peoples who believe that land to be theirs.